Hello, welcome back to Planet 40k. In today's video we've got a little bit of a problem with the Silent King. But first a word about our sponsors. Our sponsor on the channel is the Magnet Baron. It's your one-stop shop for all your super magnets, your flight stands, as well as your specialised kits for certain models within your army. Now you've already seen the Doomsday Ark custom flight stand in a previous video, but today I wanted to show you the magnetic flight stands that you can use for your Canoptic spiders. Now you get a pack of 2 for $9.34 US. It's currently on sale. I'm not actually sure when this sale ends, so you need to get in there quick. And the kit simply comes with the acrylic rods, 4 disc magnets and 2 rock anchors. So as you can see from the image here, the rock anchors go at the bottom to cover up the actual magnets. This will be completely camouflaged within a rock feature. And when you go into your games and tournaments, you simply pop the base off of the actual Canoptic spider to pack it away for safe transport. So you'll find the link in the description. That's for the Magnet Baron, so check them out while they're on sale. That's the Magnet Baron, link down below. Now of course we've received the balanced data slates yesterday night, and all of our vehicle models have now got the core keyword, including the Silent King. And one of the main debates that we've had in our Discord is that the fact that you can now use the rights of reanimation ability from your Technomancer or Illuminazares, and you can use that ability on the Silent King. Now that's all fine, you can use it on the Silent King because he's now a core unit, but there is a little bit of a problem with the game's mechanic, and I'm going to go through that with you right now. So a Technomancer or Illuminazares have the ability rights of reanimation. So done in the command phase, you select a friendly dynasty core unit within 6 inches of the model, and a destroyed model within that unit simply gets reanimated. Now just a side note before we carry on, this has nothing to do with reanimation protocols. A few people in the comments are getting those two abilities mixed up. They're completely separate from one another. Rights of reanimation is not reanimation protocols. I think they're getting them mixed up because the rights of reanimation ability does refer you to the reanimation protocols, but it's referring you to simply to show you how to reset the model back up within the unit. But to continue, of course the Technomancer in the Zerakin dynasty could be bringing one of those Triarch Minirs back from the Silent King's unit, because of course the Silent King also has that Zerakin dynasty keyword, and now is core as well. Now Illuminazares on the other hand doesn't need to be within that same dynasty because it just works on any Necron core unit. So let's take the valid example here just to show you exactly what I'm talking about. If you were to lose one of your Triarch Minirs, you simply use the rights of reanimation ability in the command phase, bring one back, not a problem. That one is totally fine. Take for example losing both of your Triarch Minirs in one single shooting phase. This is your opponent's shooting phase, you've lost both the Triarch Minirs, and also the Silent King has taken some damage as well. So let's just take the example of he's down to 5 wounds remaining and both the Triarch Minirs have been removed from play. Now, you get your Technomancer, it's your turn again. In your command phase, you're using the rights of reanimation ability and you're bringing back one of those Triarch Minirs. Okay, not a problem, you got one back. Onto your opponent's turn, targeting your Silent King's unit with some more shooting attacks again, and then manage to score some damage onto your unit. Now here's the question. What model within the unit is going to be taking the damage? Now in the core rulebook under making attacks, part 3 allocate attack, and the very last line of that paragraph, if a model in the unit has already lost any wounds or has already had attacks allocated to it in this phase, the attack must be allocated to that model. So what that's trying to say is any models within a unit that's already had some damage taken must continue to take damage until removed. So that would mean that the Silent King has to continue taking the damage as opposed to the Triarch Minir. Now the contradiction appears when you go onto the Silent King's datasheet, and there's an ability called the Triarch Minir. So whilst this unit contains any Triarch Minir models, it does not count as a character for the purposes of Lookout Sir, and each time an attack successfully wounds this unit, the attack must be allocated to one of those models. So of course we're talking about the Triarch Minir models in this case. The attacks must be allocated to one of the Triarch Minir models. So this is of course contradicting to the previous point from the core rulebook. Now in terms of abilities on actual datasheets, of course they do trump the core rulebook, but then there lies an actual problem. If you were to be putting the damage onto the Triarch Minir, let's say you take 3 wounds off the Triarch Minir, leaving it with only 2 wounds remaining, but now you've got 2 completely separate models within the unit that have got 2 completely different damage allocations attached to them. So the Silent King is now on 5 wounds remaining, and the Triarch Minir is now on 2 wounds remaining, which of course you don't see that in the 40k game. So where do we go from here? I mean, what do we do about this? There's really 3 options. The first option is we put it on the Triarch Minir. Simple as that. We put it on the Triarch Minir, have 2 different models within the unit having 2 different damage profiles. It is weird, but it is rules as written. So that's option 1. Option 2 is to go with the core rulebook and continue allocating it to the Silent King. Now this is actually not good for Necron players because as soon as the Silent King dies, the entire unit will also die. That's the last line of the Triarchal Menhir ability. If Zarek is destroyed, any remaining Menhirs in the unit are also destroyed. So if he continues to take all the damage, even if you've got Menhirs up and running, they're not going to be running for much longer as soon as the Silent King goes. Now option number 3 is quite simple. Games Workshop need to bring out an FAQ or an errata for this because they've clearly not thought this part through. I think this is going to cause a lot of debates with Necron players once they start actually playing with this new chapter approved book, when they realise, hey, I can bring a model back, but where does the actual damage go? Now this gets even jankier because if you did have 2 models within the unit on 2 different damage profiles, then how does Living Metal now work? Do they both regain a lost wound? And what about the Protocol of Undying Legions, Directive 1, being able to use that Living Metal ability for an additional lost wound? Would they both bring back 2 lost wounds? Gets a little bit weird. The most sensible option is of course putting it back onto the Silent King, and once he dies, the whole unit dies. But that would mean going directly against the actual ability within his datasheet, so until we get an FAQ, not sure what to do here. So I wanted to share this information with you guys today, little food for thought, what we're going to do with the damage with the Silent King. Now another little side note, I've responded to some of you guys in the previous video comments relating to the Silent King being the target of the Veil of Darkness relic. Now that he's got the core keyword, I wasn't sure whether it would actually fit because he needs to wholly be within 6 inches of the bearer. That actually isn't a problem, he does fit perfectly fine. His base is only 4 inches, and once you put the Triarchal Menhirs and one of your character models with the relic, it still fits perfectly fine. And the Monolith on the other hand will not be fitting with the Veil of Darkness relic, even though it does have the core keyword. It won't be wholly within 6 inches of the bearer, it's just slightly over 6 inches. That doesn't even include the bearer's base as well. So the Monolith is not going to work with the Veil of Darkness relic. And some of you guys were asking about a Night Scythe as well. I'm not sure why you'd use a Night Scythe. Comment below why you would actually use a Night Scythe with the Veil of Darkness relic, but the Night Scythe does fit. For some reason I thought the base was a lot bigger than it was, but once I measured it up, there's actually loads of room for the Night Scythe. If you wanted to use that, I don't know why you would, but let me know in the comments below why you would. Now we'll be doing an in-depth video in terms of the actual ability changes and the datasheet changes, probably on the weekend as mentioned in the previous video, but I just wanted to get this one out today. It's come across in the Discord and we've had quite a long debate about it and we still haven't really come to a conclusion, so I thought I'd share that with you today and have some sort of interaction with you guys in the comments section. Alternatively, you can join our Discord server. The link will be in the description of this video below. There's plenty of different topics to talk about. There's currently a big vote on all of the models within the actual codex, so you can get involved in that. There's a channel to post your own games. There's a painting competition channel. There's 3D printing channel. Lots of other bits and bobs to get involved in if you want to join our Discord. So guys, that's it from me today. Like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Pumping out lots of Necron content, as you can see from the playlist. But yeah, other than that guys, all that's left to say is thank you all for watching and I'll see you next time.